NIRDPR Hyderabad with an extensive expertise in environmental economics and biodiversity conservation. He holds a PhD in economics from University of Mysore, where he conducted pioneer research on the economics of biodiversity conservation in the Western Ghats of Kerala. Dr. Satyapalan Garu has made significant contributions to biodiversity policy and climate resilience at both national and international levels. Additionally, Dr. Jyothi Satyapalan Garu is a member of Empowered Committee on Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, where he advises the Ministry of Rural Development on integrating biodiversity conservation into rural development programs. Dr. Satyapalan Garu is also the member of National Adaptation Plan for Climate Change Committee, working on strategies to address climate resilience and adaptive capacity. Prestigious NWO ICSSR Exchange of Scholars Fellowship in 2009, jointly awarded by Netherlands Scientific Organization and Indian Council of Social Science Research. Dr. Satyapalan's extensive publication records include peer-reviewed journal articles, book chapters, policy reports, rural development frameworks, climate adaptation measures. He remains actively engaged in international collaborations and professional memberships, including his ongoing roles with IPBES and other policy committees. Through his academic and policy-oriented work, Dr. Satyapalan continues to balance the priorities of development and conservation effectively. Thank you and for coming here to take the session. So we have Professor Sir to have this session on VPG Ramji Act 2025, a design renewal for changing rural India. Over to you, sir.
And also Dr. Gopal, the director of NAM. Some
Volumes.
Yeah, for inviting me to this workshop of Varthala. I'm extremely thankful to you for this. In fact, when the bill enacted and it came into media, I think I was the one among many to write a small piece in Business Life. Like to see that is spread across this country, because I tried to give an analytical background to the bill. I think I'm going to do the same thing here. Little bit of analytical background to the bill. I will not be touching the bill one by one, section by section. That I will not be doing. Our DG, Dr. G. Narendra sir has done it in the morning. The very section he covered. It was a very comprehensive presentation of the bill that is already done. And now you know the bill. So let us have an analytical ground on this bill. What it talks about from an analytical point of view. That's key. Those who read the Act will be knowing it is written in the preamble. The Act stands for enhancing the livelihood security of the rural household. That is a sentence, it is written in the preamble of the Act, Mahatma Gandhi Act. And the main question is, how do you enhance the livelihood security of the rural household? The means is to provide public work and create assets. These assets will give a return back. There will be a flow of resources from these assets that may flow to your pocket, it may flow to the society as a whole. That is the way we need to enhance the livelihood security of the people. You look at the preamble of this Act, I don't see much difference. The difference is the livelihood security is putting into a larger rural livelihood, rural development framework. That is what it happened in the preamble of this Act. It is not a big dilution, rather than it is an addition that happened in this bill. That's the first point I would like to convey to you. Therefore, the next 10 minutes or 15 minutes I will take The main point I want to convey to you, the current bill is not a, it stood on 3 or 4 important pillars. You know, their employment generation was an important activity, the public work employment generation. That's there here also. The second one was the asset creation. You know, you can't simply create employment and pay the wages. That may create inflationary pressure in the economy that one should not do. But whatever the employment that you provide must produce a corresponding output. That was the asset creation. Mahatma Gandhi Narega mentioned about durable assets. This act is also mentioning about durable assets. There is no difference as far as assets creation is concerned. The third point is giving importance to the decentralized governance to this country. This act is also giving an importance to the panchayat. The DG sir has explained it in the morning very clearly how the act has. If you see the last diagram, the panchayat appeared as an important, you know, in the cloud graph. It is giving importance. It's a promise to the decentralized governance system. Another one is the inclusive dimension of it. The act was talking about the inclusive dimension in Manrega. Here also it talks about, this act also spell out very clearly the inclusive dimension. I think it will go little bit more, including transgenders and many other aspects in the inclusive dimension. Just in the rural area, where you see it, mainly the poverty reduction. Go through the reports published by the NITI Aayog, you can see that the reduction in poverty, particularly the chronic poverty, is disappeared in many places. Well, I think the last month the Kerala government celebrated the disappearing of the chronic poverty in that particular state. It happened. You know, there is a lot of changes. Then what is the problem today you are facing? You are facing a problem of insecurity in your livelihood. There is different kinds of risk that you are facing to face the livelihood. Particularly climate, particularly it's focusing on the natural resource related risk you are facing. You know, different kinds of. So the resilience is an important issue as far as livelihood is concerned in rural areas.